Welcome to StoryOrbitEN. Quick question to start. Have you ever realized at 11:59 on December 31st that the year went way faster than you expected?
Way too fast. Every single year, I always think I have time, and suddenly I am holding a drink, someone is shouting numbers, and my brain is like, wait, what just happened?
Exactly. That feeling of how did we get here so fast is very last day of the year energy, and that is what we are talking about today. The final day, the new year coming, and how this moment can be perfect for learning English too.
I love that, because the last day of the year is emotional, chaotic, exciting, and a little strange, just like learning a language sometimes.
That comparison already feels very accurate. You know what this reminds me of? One year, on the last day of the year, I was completely alone. No party, no plans, nothing. I remember sitting on my sofa in pajamas, watching random videos in English, thinking, wow, this is not how movies show New Year's Eve.
I had a similar year, actually. I was in a different country, didn't really know anyone well, and I remember calling my family 5 minutes before midnight just to hear familiar voices. It wasn't exciting, but it was very real.
And honestly, those years stay with you. They don't look perfect, but they feel honest.
Totally. Okay, let's imagine the situation. It is the last day of the year. Maybe you wake up late, maybe you're working, maybe you are traveling, but there's something in the air.
Yes, people always say that. Something in the air.
And that expression is interesting. When you say there is something in the air, it means there is a special feeling, even if you cannot explain it clearly.
Like excitement, expectation, maybe a bit of pressure. People feel that something important is about to happen.
Exactly. And pressure is a good word here. Pressure means feeling stressed because you think you should do something or feel something.
Yes, on the last day of the year, some people feel pressure to be happy, to party, to have plans.
And others feel pressure to reflect, to change their life, to suddenly become a new person at midnight.
Which is honestly a lot to ask from one single night.
Totally. And that is why I think it is useful to talk about expectations. Expectations are what you think will happen or what you think should happen.
People often say, my expectations were too high, or I had no expectations, so I enjoyed it more. Having lower expectations can make things better, especially on the last day of the year. Some people imagine the perfect night, perfect outfit, perfect moment, and real life says nope.
Exactly. And then people feel disappointed. Disappointed means feeling sad because something was not as good as you hoped.
Like I was disappointed because the party was boring, or she felt disappointed with the way the year ended.
But the funny thing is, the last day of the year does not have to be amazing to be meaningful.
Meaningful again. We love that word. Something meaningful gives you a feeling of value or importance.
And that can be very personal. For one person, it is a big party. For another, it is a quiet evening.
Let's talk about quiet evenings for a moment, because not everyone goes out.
True. Many people stay home, maybe cook something special, watch a movie, or just scroll on their phone. Scroll is a very modern verb. To scroll means to move up and down on your phone screen. Like I spent the evening scrolling through social media.
And social media on the last day of the year is intense.
Oh my God, yes. I remember one New Year's Eve where I kept scrolling and comparing myself to everyone online, people traveling, partying, achieving huge things. Meanwhile, I was eating leftovers and feeling like I had done nothing with my year.
Same here. And the funny thing is, the next day I realized how fake that comparison was. I had learned new things, struggled, improved, even if it didn't look impressive on a post.
That was the year I stopped trusting social media summaries of life. Real progress is much quieter.
Oh, yes. And everyone suddenly becomes a philosopher.
Or a motivational speaker. People post long messages about lessons learned and growth. Growth is another good word.
Growth means development or improvement over time. People say, this year was about personal growth, or I learned a lot and grew as a person.
And that connects nicely with learning English, because language learning is literally growth over time.
This is why the new year is such a good excuse to start or restart English, not in a dramatic way, just gently.
Exactly. You don't need to say, this year I will be perfect. You can say, this year I will listen more, understand a little more, and not give up.
And podcasts like this are perfect for that. You can listen while walking, cooking, resting. English fits into your life, not the other way around.
Yes, and the last day of the year is a great moment to notice how far you have come. Notice means to become aware of something.
Like, I notice my English is better than last year. Even small things count.
Understanding a joke, feeling less nervous, speaking faster.
Nervous is an important word. Nervous means feeling worried or anxious, especially before doing something. People often say, I feel nervous when I speak English. And that is completely normal.
I remember the first time I noticed that with English. I was watching a show and suddenly I laughed before the subtitles appeared. I actually paused the episode and said, wait, did I just understand that without reading?
That moment is magical. For me, it happened in a conversation. Someone made a joke. I answered immediately, and only later I realized I had not translated anything in my head.
Those moments don't look big from the outside, but inside they feel huge.
That is real progress.
The last day of the year is a good time to be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself is a phrase that means do not be too hard on yourself.
Learning a language takes time. It is not magic, and midnight will not suddenly make you fluent.
Sadly true, but it can give you motivation. Motivation is the reason you want to do something.
People say, I feel motivated to start fresh in January.
Fresh again. Fresh can mean new, clean, or full of energy. Like I want a fresh start with my English.
And that is important to hear, especially if you feel late. Many people think I should have learned English earlier.
But the truth is, it is never too late. Your brain does not expire. Your curiosity does not expire.
Starting now is always better than waiting another year. Even 10 minutes a day can change how confident you feel by next December.
And here is a nice expression. Turn the page.
Oh, I like that one. To turn the page means to move on from the past and start something new.
For example, last year was hard, but I am ready to turn the page.
That fits the last day of the year perfectly.
Yes, it is like closing one chapter and opening another.
Chapter is another metaphor people use. A chapter is part of a book, but in life it means a period of time.
People say this year was an important chapter in my life.
Now let's talk about the atmosphere on the last day of the year. Atmosphere means the mood or feeling of a place. Streets feel different, shops are busy, music is everywhere, and people often rush.
Rush means to do things quickly because you do not have much time. Like, I had to rush to buy food before the stores closed.
Or everyone was rushing to get ready before midnight.
Time feels very present that day.
Yes, time is almost the main character. People talk about time a lot. This year flew by. Flew by is a nice expression. It means passed very quickly.
The year flew by is something everyone says. And it is true, especially when you are busy. Busy means having a lot to do.
Which brings us to another feeling on the last day of the year. Relief. Relief is a good one. Relief means feeling relaxed because something difficult is over. Like I felt relief when the year ended.
For some people, the year was tough. Tough means difficult. People say, it was a tough year, but I survived.
And survived is powerful. It means you managed to live through something hard.
Surviving a year is already an achievement.
Especially if you were learning English during it.
Exactly, because learning a language while living your life is not easy.
It requires effort. Effort means trying hard. I put a lot of effort into my English this year.
Even listening to this podcast is effort.
And we appreciate that so much.
Now, let's talk about the moment just before midnight. That moment is full of tension. Tension means a feeling of excitement mixed with nervousness.
Everyone is watching the clock and checking their phone and asking, what time is it now? People start gathering.
To gather means to come together in one place. We gathered in the living room to watch the countdown.
And some people are responsible for something important, like pressing play on the music or opening the drinks at the right time.
That person feels a lot of responsibility. Responsibility means something you are in charge of.
And if they mess up, everyone remembers. Mess up means make a mistake, like I messed up the music and played the wrong song. Classic.
Also, people shout a lot. To shout means to speak very loudly. Everyone shouted when the new year started.
And then hugs, messages, calls. People text everyone at the same time. Text is used as a verb now. I texted my friends, Happy New Year.
And some people forget to reply, which can feel awkward the next day. Awkward means uncomfortable or a little embarrassing, like it was awkward because I forgot to reply.
Now let's talk about language specifically.
Yes, because the last day of the year is actually a perfect language moment.
You hear a lot of English phrases everywhere, on TV, online, in movies, and you do not need to understand everything.
Understanding the general idea is enough. General idea means the main meaning, not every word. That is a very important skill for English learners.
And the last day of the year is also about setting intentions.
Intention is similar to a goal, but softer. It is something you plan or hope to do. My intention is to practice English a little every day.
That sounds realistic. And realistic again means possible.
I think many people quit because their goals are too big.
Quit means stop doing something. Like I quit studying after 2 weeks. Instead, small habits are better.
Habit is something you do regularly. Listening to English podcasts became a habit. See what we did there?
Very smooth. The last day of the year is also full of comparisons.
Yes, people compare this year to last year. Compare means to look at similarities and differences.
This year was better than last year. Or, last year I did not understand English at all. Now I do. That is huge progress.
Progress means improvement, and progress is not always fast, but it is still progress.
Now, the morning after the last day of the year is another story.
Yes, silence. Silence means no noise and empty streets.
People wake up slow. Slow is the opposite of fast. And that slowness can be nice.
It gives space to think. Think about what you want, what you enjoyed, what you learned. Learning is the key word for us.
And learning English is not just grammar, it is confidence. Confidence means believing in yourself. I feel more confident speaking English now.
And confidence grows when you stay connected. That is why we always say keep listening, keep exposing yourself to English.
Make this podcast part of your year. Not as homework, but as company. Something familiar you come back to.
If you're here on the last day of the year, imagine where you could be by the end of the next one. Same you, stronger English.
And the last day of the year is a perfect time to say that out loud.
Even if only to yourself.
Now, quick question for listeners. Where are you listening from right now?
And what time is it there? Are you already in the new year or are you still waiting?
Think about that and maybe write it down in English. Writing things down helps memory.
Before we finish, let's talk about one more expression. Take it one day at a time.
That is a beautiful one. It means focus on today, not the whole year. I will take learning English one day at a time. That removes pressure.
And pressure, again, is what makes people stop.
Learning should be challenging, but not painful. Challenge means something difficult, but interesting. Learning English is a challenge, but I enjoy it.
That sentence alone is a great start for the new year.
Can I share something personal before we finish? One year, my only New Year intention was very small. I just said, I want English to be part of my life, not a stressful task. No deadlines, no pressure.
I love that. I did something similar. I stopped saying I have to study and started saying I will expose myself to English. Podcasts, videos, random articles.
And weirdly, that was the year I improved the most. When it stopped feeling like homework and started feeling like life.
And I think this is a perfect moment to say something to listeners. If you are listening right now, you already did something good for yourself. You chose English today.
Yes, you could be scrolling, watching random stuff, but you are here, listening, understanding, learning. That already counts.
And it doesn't matter if your level is high or low. Showing up is the hardest part. Everything else comes with time.
So let's slowly wrap up. Today we talked about the last day of the year, the feelings around it, and how it connects to learning English.
We use words like expectations, pressure, relief, growth, motivation, habit, progress, and confidence. We also shared expressions like turn the page, take it one day at a time, flew by, and something in the air.
Now it is your turn. Write a comment with one sentence about your year, or your English learning.
Or write one intention for the new year in English. It does not have to be perfect.
Perfect is overrated anyway. So before we go, I want you to think about this moment. You are here, listening on the last day of the year. That is not nothing.
Not at all. It means English already has a place in your life, even if it feels small right now. And small things are exactly how big changes start.
You don't need a perfect plan, perfect level, or perfect pronunciation. You just need to stay curious and keep coming back.
Make English part of your year in a gentle way. Let it be something that accompanies you. A voice in your headphones. A familiar space you return to.
And when you doubt yourself, remember this. If you can understand his conversation even partially, you are already learning.
Next year, this same day, you will understand more. You will feel more confident. And you will thank yourself for not giving up.
So keep listening, keep exposing yourself to English, and keep choosing it again and again.
This was StoryOrbitEN. Thank you for closing the year with us.
Happy New Year. Be patient with yourself. Be proud of your effort. And we will be right here with you in the next orbit.